All right, Chicago, the Bears landed their edge rusher that they were looking for, and it was not Chase Young. The Chicago Bears trade with the Washington Commanders for edge rusher Montez Sweat for a 2024 second-round pick. This is a shocker / not a shocker. The Bears were interested in Sweat earlier this year. It was in the discussion between him and Chase Young of who was coming to the Chicago Bears. But Ryan Poles in the front office go out and get Montez Sweat for a second-round pick in 2024. Jaylen Johnson is still on the roster. He was not involved in this trade, could be a factor. Thanks for watching this in class. Thank you for everyone for tuning in. Throw a Bears down in if you're excited for Montez Sweat. Please like this video if you're excited about this trade and you agree with it. We are going to break down all the stats right now for you guys and what this trade does. But welcome to this episode of Just Another Year Chicago. My name is Nick Rohde. As always, thank you for tuning in. We are super excited to be talking with you guys. Bear down. This is a big trade for the Chicago Bears. And here is what Montez Sweat, the trade that went down. About 11 minutes ago, the Commanders have traded with the Chicago Bears and sent Montez Sweat to the Chicago Bears for a 2024 second-round pick. In the last year of his contract, he is owed about $3.5 million for the rest of the season, so Chicago will have to pay that. But the Bears now have the opportunity to extend Sweat after this season. Huge news for the Chicago Bears, a big pass rusher coming to the team. He brings what we need, and that's getting pressure on the quarterback. Jaylen Johnson was not involved in this trade. Just want to put that out there. Thank you for everyone for tuning in for this breaking news. Please make sure to hit the like button on this video. It's a huge help and continues to get the news out to more and more Bears fans. We got a few people bear down. Absolutely. Pay Jaylen Johnson. That could be the next move coming up here. Landing this, the Bears now have the opportunity to continue to build their defense. Ryan Poles is definitely evaluating all the different situations here. So the Chicago Bears get their edge rusher that's going to help them get after the quarterback. And so far this year, Sweat for the Washington Commanders in 2023 has played in all 8 games, started all 8 games, actually played against the Chicago Bears. He has 1 pass deflection, 1 forced fumble, 6.5 sacks through 8 games. That's more than anybody on the Chicago Bears, let's be frank. He has 32 total tackles, 21 of them being solo, 10 tackles for loss, and 11 quarterback hits. That is something that the Chicago Bears absolutely needed to bring to this roster in order to improve the defense, and it could not have come at a better time. Sweat is a 27-year-old fifth-year player. He stands at 6'6", 262 pounds. He is an absolute beast. He is a former first-round pick. So, former first-round pick, got him for a second pick, and we have the opportunity to extend him to a contract. He is 27 years old, so, he is in the prime of his career. Likely going to be a, probably a 3 to 4 year contract extension, depending on what polls do. But that was not agreed within the trade. He is going to be re-signed by the Chicago Bears, not the Washington Commanders. So that'll play a factor. But throughout his entire NFL career so far, he has 35.5 sacks. His career high in a season was 9. He had 8 last year. He's only 1.5 sacks away from beating out last year. His career high in total tackles for a season was 50. He has 197 overall, 120 solo tackles, 47 tackles for loss, and 85 quarterback hits. He also has 1 career interception. He also has 9 forced fumbles. He has no fumble recoveries, but hey, he's got teammates to pick that up for him. We love that for him. Ooh, we got a couple people saying awful trade, cannot be given up unnecessary at first for a guy that's going to be a free agent. We're going to get less for Jaylen Johnson. I think that the Bears planned on this trade considering they do have the most cap in 2023 and 2024. So they're going to go out and sign, probably give Sweat a decent contract extension. Excited for that. I feel like he is worth a third and Young was worth a second. I have to agree with that, but at the same time, they know that the Bears need an edge rusher. They know that they need him at the deadline. This is a big move for the Chicago Bears. And honestly, you get a first-round talent guy who's been outperforming your entire defensive line and doing a pretty good job for the Washington Commanders. Wow, we got a lot of people in the live stream so far. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you haven't already, please could like this video, put your thoughts in the live chat. It helps grow it and get the news out much faster, but very, very excited to have this. And now what's likely going to happen, there's two situations for the Chicago Bears here. Either they're going to extend Jaylen Johnson, which they should, in my opinion. You can't go out and get rid of a guy like that because that's just going to keep your defense young. Having Sweat come in and also having Jaylen Johnson absolutely answers that question. Now Paige Johnson making this defense better by keeping good players. Would have liked to get Sweat for less. I would have liked to have gotten him for less too. I think that he was worth maybe a third. But the deal is done. Ryan Poles gets him for a second. He is a talented player. 6.5 sacks so far this year, 11 quarterback hits, and 10 tackles for loss. He answers a huge need for this team. And it's not that the Bears are out of the playoffs technically. I don't think that this was a playoff, let's go for it move. If they re-sign Jaylen Johnson, they are building for the future. But this was a future move for sure. Why not Chase Young? They could have wanted a first for him. I know that they were asking for a second for Chase Young. I was kind of shocked by that too. But overall, I mean, hey, we got the guy. We got a rusher. And who knows? We still could go out and get Chase Young. That could be down the line. Who knows? That would be pretty insane. Why are the Bears buying? They should be trying to lose as many games as possible and get Flus fired. I think Flus is fired no matter what after the season. Want to put that out there. But why not get Young? So why not get Young too and not Young? Okay, I think you meant why not get Sweat and Young. Who knows? The deadline hasn't crossed yet, but this was the first move made by the Chicago Bears. It was confirmed by Adam Schefter. How many sacks has he had so far this season? Sweat has 6.5 sacks so far this year. Welcome everyone to the live stream. We keep getting a ton more people. If you please could make sure that you throw your comments in the live chat. Like this video. It helps it out tremendously if you're excited about the Chicago Bears getting Montez Sweat. I'm excited for this guy. And this is a really good point, Robert. I'm happy you brought this up because this would be my next point. The injury, the ACL injury still could scare Ryan Poles a little bit considering Chase Young did have that ACL tear a few years ago. He's having a good year so far. He's on pace to have a career year according to his numbers. But at the same time, I don't think that Ryan Poles was really factoring his knee injury too much into it. It definitely was a factor, but a second-round pick for Sweat. We get an elite edge rusher from the Washington Commanders. And now Yannick is going to be better because of this. That is another thing. This helps out the rest of the defensive line. Justin Jones and Andrew Billings are going to get more pressure up the middle, giving opportunities for Javon Dexter and Zach Pickens, gaining their confidence, understanding the game. Yannick Ngakoue is going to get after the quarterback a lot better. Same with DeMarcus Walker. So that's a bunch of good news for the Chicago Bears here. This was a move to help for the team moving forward. Definitely going to re-sign Sweat. This would make no sense to trade. You don't trade a second for a rental when you're 2-6. So the Bears are definitely going to re-sign this guy. We'll have more information on that. KO Sports Talk, let's go. Sweats are not even young. We're going to waste his prime years. I don't know. He's 27 years old. He's still a pretty young guy, and he's having a career year so far. So they will recoup and pick up for Johnson. I sure hope so. Oh, okay. And nice. We need to keep Jaylen Johnson bear down. Absolutely, Dan. Trade Jaylen and get a second for him. I still don't want to trade Jaylen Johnson. I still think he's a fantastic player for the Chicago Bears and has a future on this roster. I do really like Jaylen Johnson. The Bears need to keep him. They need to re-sign him. But this was the move that the Bears are getting their edge rusher, because if you guys think about it, in the upcoming draft, there aren't many elite guys like last year, like, Carter or Anderson or any of those guys. Sweat is an established player. He's having a good year so far. He's on pace to have 10 sacks. He helps expand the rest of this defensive line. We get to see what this defensive line can do, because considering we could re-sign a few guys like Andrew Billings, like Yannick Ngakoue. So this will help expand this team overall and be a really good thing for the Chicago Bears. And I hope that they do keep Jaylen Johnson. I just want to keep that. I see that message coming up a lot in the chat. Seems like a lot of people are very hyped up about Jaylen Johnson staying on the team. This was a move that the Bears are planning for the future. I see Jaylen Johnson in the future. He's a very hard guy to replace. So hopefully the next move that I'll have for you guys here on the channel is that Jaylen Johnson's re-signed. That news has not come back yet. So waiting on that. This is a comment. I want to see everyone react to this. Chase Young is Chase Claypool. He's an athletic freak who never reached his potential. The move showed they learned from their past mistakes. Sweat is healthy and consistent. Sweat is healthy and consistent. I do give you that. I would never put Chase Young in Chase Claypool's corner. Chase Young is having a career year so far, but I do like that comment because Sweat is a very good player. Is this real? Yes, the trade did happen. The trade happened about 15 minutes ago. It was confirmed by Adam Schefter on our Twitter, or we retweeted it. Are they going to sign Sweat after the season? No, they'll probably end up extending him very shortly. I could see the Bears doing that. The Bears have the most cap next year. So that's something that a lot of people need to consider here. Wow, more and more, over 200 people in the live stream right now. Thank you, everyone, for tuning into this episode. Really appreciate it. If you please could hit the like button if you're excited about this trade. Hit the like button if you want Jaylen Johnson extended, and it helps the channel out a ton with all your guys' support. So thank you for tuning in. But wow, what a trade right before lunch. And the Bears aren't even done yet. What about the old line? We're speaking about the offensive line. I don't think the Bears are going to make any offensive move. This upcoming draft is loaded with offensive line talent. So I could see that. One thing that did pop in my head, though, when I saw that they traded a second, I already see Chicago trading back one of their first-round picks. They currently own number 2 and number 3. Could get a couple seconds there. They're going to get another first for one of them for sure. So Poles probably saw this as, let me go get an edge rusher that's established, that's young, that I can keep on the roster and extend, that is consistent and always healthy. I think that that's what's going to happen because, this draft does not have elite edge rushers like last year's draft. So why not go get a guy that's established for a second-round pick, a for sure thing, and you get to re-sign him yourself. So what do you feel Johnson is worth if we do trade? Honestly, get the second back. Maybe trade for a second-round pick. That's what I think Jaylen Johnson's worth. But again, I hope that we don't trade Jaylen Johnson. So Poles is going to overpay Sweat. Hey, Kim, you're really not happy about this trade, and I'm sorry about it, man. I watch him get like $20 million. I don't think that's going to happen. Ryan Poles seems, if he's not paying Jaylen Johnson, he's not going to pay mega dollars for Sweat, but we'll see. I don't know what's going to happen at the moment. I will have all the news for you guys as it comes out. I also believe that Jaylen Johnson does stay. Just putting that out there, I think he is going to stay. I don't think that the Bears are trading Jaylen Johnson away. I think he is going to stay with the Chicago Bears. He's a very valuable asset to this team, just like Sweat. And thank you for everyone for tuning in. I'm going to go through the trade one more time for you guys, for all those who are tuning in. We just got like another 100 people entering the live chat. So thank you for that. Please hit the like button. So the news, the Bears trade for Montez Sweat. Sweat, 27 years old, currently this season with the Washington Commanders, has played in all 8 games, started all 8 games, has 6.5 sacks, 32 total tackles, 10 tackles for loss, 11 quarterback hits, 1 pass deflection, and 2 forced fumbles. In his career, he has 35.5 sacks. He's currently in his 5th season. He was a former first-round pick. He was 26 overall by the Washington Commanders from Mississippi State. A very talented, very consistent guy currently on tack for having a career year. And he brings the pressure on the quarterback that we need. He's great at run stopping. He's great at pass deflection, athletic, fast, and can stay on the field. Let's see what we got here. Bears want a 1 or a 2 for JJ. For that, I would not be happy, but okay with. Bears aren't trading Jaylen Johnson. And then we got Big Dog G. Chicago Bears need some dogs up front to block Justin Fields. They need them dogs because they have some cats. All right, I will agree with Tevin Jenkins, Nate Davis, when healthy, and Darnell Wright have been doing a great job. I think that this trade gets Chicago the edge rusher they need because they do have an up-and-coming defensive line. You can't deny that they've gotten worse. They've gotten a lot better since last year. So this gets the edge rusher position. Now Poles can focus on the offensive line for the upcoming draft. They have not signed Sweat to a contract extension yet, but overall, he is a very fast, very physical dude. He answers that pass rush need for the Chicago Bears, and I am very, very excited about this trade. It's going to be big for the Chicago Bears. You're going to see improvement on the defensive line moving forward. Sweat opens up a ton of opportunities for the middle. Andrew Billings is going to keep getting through because now they have to worry about Sweat. And it's a guy that they can plug in right away, guys. Today is Tuesday. They play on Sunday. They're going to tell them either to go after the quarterback or drop back or go up another gut. Like, it is a very impactful trade right away for the Chicago Bears, especially against the New Orleans Saints. Who knows what this Bears team can do? Everyone remembers the Detroit Lions started the last season 1-7. They ended up 9-8. Could this be the move that, changes the season? I don't think so. I think the Bears are still, 1 season away from being good. But in Poles, we trust. This is a move that he saw the potential for. He saw this is going to improve this team. and everyone's very excited about. Wow, 300 people. Thank you, everyone, for tuning into this episode. I'm going to give the update on the trade one more time and what Sweat brings to this team before I log off for you guys. But thank you so much. Please hit the like button on this video if you're excited about this trade. Also, hit that like button if you want Jaylen Johnson to be extended immediately. I think Ryan Poles should have done it yesterday, but that's my opinion. So, what does Sweat bring to the team? 6'6", 262-pound edge rusher, currently 27 years old, literally just turned 27 years old. He is a former first-round pick in 2019, 26 overall out of Mississippi State. Currently for the Washington Commanders, he's played in all 8 games this year. He played against the Chicago Bears, and actually against the Chicago Bears, he had 1.5 sacks. So he was kind of putting on a little bit of a show for Ryan Poles and company. He currently has 1 pass deflection this year, 2 forced fumbles, 6.5 sacks, 1.5 coming against the Chicago Bears, 32 total tackles, 21 being solo, 10 tackles for loss, and 11 quarterback hits. He brings the pressure. He helps against the run. He opens up opportunities for the rest of the defensive line and the linebackers. This is a huge move for the Chicago Bears. I really, really like this move. I hope you guys do too. But with that, we got all trade deadline news coming here for you guys today. 350 people. I love this, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is a lot of fun. Please like this video if you're excited about the trade. Now that 50 more people joined, I'll do it one more time. Bears trade the 2024 second pick for Sweat to the Washington Commanders. They have the opportunity to re-sign him. He is owed $3.5 million this year for the rest of the season. Bears have the money to do that. Currently for the Washington Commanders, he has 6.5 sacks, 1.5 came against the Chicago Bears. He has 32 total tackles, 11 tackles for loss, and 10 quarterback hits. Really good, fast, consistent guy for this team. It is huge for the Chicago Bears, and they're not done yet. But with that, thank you very much for joining this episode of Just Another Year Chicago. Please hit the like button on this video if you haven't already to help it out. And if you're excited about this trade, Andy, thanks a lot, man. I see your comment. But with that, thank you guys for joining this episode. We'll see you guys later today to give you a full trade deadline recap. Bear down, baby.